Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world. I greet you and I welcome you to today's special edition of this program, where we are going to be navigating few challenges, the things that are coming up, where we are going to be navigating all these agents that has been paid by those politicians to continue to thwart and scuttle the activities of self-determination. Of course, you saw the poster I put here. Also, this video that is right in front of you. We are also going to be navigating this video, where you will also see those criminals that are terrorizing Biafra land. And this one is, their cup is full. We have told these people, these politicians, that IPOB is whiter than white and whiter than snow. We do not engage in criminality. We do not engage in killing. In any form of criminality, we do not engage. And anybody, whether they are part of us or one of us or was one of us, and engage in criminality, when we catch them, we will do to them the same thing that we do to criminal. Because what we are fighting for is a freedom of our nation, freedom of 85 million Biafrans. That is what we are fighting for. We are not fighting to engage into any criminality whatsoever. That is the reason why it is very, very important that we continue to debunk the activities of the politicians that are trying to scuttle the activities of self-determination in that zoological republic called Nigeria. So in this regard, if you are joining us on YouTube, share the video, like and follow and subscribe to that YouTube channel. If you are joining us on Facebook at Judge Money Blog, at Judge Money Blog of /TV, at Judge Money Official, and other Facebook pages, share the video, like the video, and invite others to join. Now, of course, in this poster, you will see the first person on your left-hand side. It is Mazen Nnamdi Kanu tagged next to Boko Haram leader by one Ashawo, that stays in London. And this woman you see here, her utterances, what she says, we're coming to that. And of course, in the top middle, you will see our elder statesman, late Mr. Mbazurike AMAECHI, the only man whom his last request was actually to call on President Mohammed Imposter to release his mutual son, Ohamadike one of Biafra land, for him. That was his first and last request from the president. Now, the second one in the middle on top as well is Jagaban of Lagos State. We are going to talk about his activities and how far he is willing to go to scuttle the self-determination and the activities of Yoruba nation, and as well as Biafra. The other one on the other side, on your right-hand side, of course, they are the governors from the southeast. Now, these governors you see here, they gathered a few days ago talking so many rubbish that does not, make sense, and we are not going to buy that, stories that they are actually telling. Then on the last but not the least, because there are many things that could not fit here. that we'll have to talk about. It is the infiltrator chief and his activities. You know, so many times I have tried to actually, ignore the activities of this criminal syndicate called the Autopilot, and how they are trying to scuttle the activities of, you know, IPOB, because what the agendas did was to make sure that they place them there, to make sure that they get IPOB in the bad book. Now, that is the reason why they know that the only easiest way they can do that, when he was, placed in front, because he is in the media. Bridget, the last time I made a mistake and I called Azuka. Azuka is one of the infiltrator. I wanted to call Bridget Riteze, and Father Mmekwa, or whatever Mmekwa they call him. All of these people, Robert Charles, all of them made sure that they placed this guy in front, believing that, they will actually do or control him, without knowing that the same person that you were planning to use to replace Ohamadike one of Biafra land have a worse agenda than the rest of you. So that is the reason why they were good together. They started working against the struggle. They did everything humanly possible to make sure that they destroy and actually proscribe IPOB in 2021. They did everything to the extent that somebody who called himself a lawyer in Finland told you that he wants to be called a terrorist. Just like our comrade, the member of the DOS, those leaders that are piloting this movement in the absence of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Chinasa Sanwo-Olu said or reminded us, because their primary obligation and agenda from 2021, after the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, was only to label IPOB terrorists before the world, so that the world will see us as a terrorist, then that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be destroyed by Nigeria. But it could not work, because Chukwu Okike Abiama has been always with us and is still with us. And of course, there is no more God in Nigeria. Nigeria, they do not have anybody that they will say this is their God. They are just there without knowing exactly from their right, their left from their right. So the God of Biafrans continue to vindicate and protect and direct and guide us in his word and principles, in his promises. He promised us that after every suffering in the hands of the enemy, he will gather our remnant, and he will make us to come and bring his offering for beyond the river of Ethiopia. The remnant and the supplant will present him with an offering. The book of Zephaniah. Now, I want you to understand that the only reason why that everything that Nigeria has done to scuttle the activities of IPOB and the self-determination thereof, that they are not succeeding, because they have done everything they could humanly possible, bribe institutions, bribe human beings, try to actually come to label IPOB terrorists, that they may destroy the movement, and above all, recently, that they may destroy Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If not the IPOB media warriors who came out and actually said to the world, give the world the full analysis and give the world the roadmap of IPOB, which is the guided principles of IPOB, they would have believed that these agents that Nigeria government placed in the media in the name of autopilot, that we are one people, because they have seen that what they presented to the media, it was not working. They started paying different agents in order to come and tell the world that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is a terrorist. That is the reason why you see this woman in front of your screen. Wherever you see her in a program, on the ground in London, you need to remind her that IPOB, we are not terrorists, we are peaceful movement. But the person who paid her, who bribed her to come and defame IPOB without any fact or figure, is indeed the terrorist. And her that is actually promoting things she knew nothing about, she is indeed a terrorist, conspirator. Now, I want you to know she is in London and she is there. That's why they actually bribed her, because she is a very, very hungry woman in London. Anything can do for her, including calling the devil God for her to put food on her table. She will do such things just to put food on her table. Sometimes, I blame them, but I don't, completely blame them. The reason why I do not completely blame these, selfish human beings that call themselves one Nigerianist, because they are the product of Nigeria. And if you check through the history, Nigeria has been selfish to other people. Nigeria has been selfish to, to her people. Nigeria has been selfish to Biafrans. Nigeria has been selfish to Oduduwas. Nigeria has been selfish to every indigenous people you found in Nigeria. They have been selfish to themselves as well. That is the reason why a young woman like this will run away from her country of a so-called origin, which is the Nigeria she loves so much. And you will ask me, what exactly was her reason for running away from Nigeria and go and settle down in Britain, believing that Nolu Ashawo now who gonna Britain? That is the reason why she ran and stayed in Britain. Now, she is finding out that even it is tough in Britain because she does not have any qualification or any, talent that she will use to make money in Britain. That is the reason why she made herself available, because I believe if she had something doing and she is actually living fine and willing to come back home to meet her home rather, to make sure that she is safe where she come from, not to be harassed by the kidnappers, by terrorists or anything. As long as anybody that is not in political class in that zoological republic still champion one Nigeria, even though the same one Nigeria chased them away from that same Nigeria, you should understand that that person is impoverished wherever they are. That's why they made themselves available to continue to actually scuttle their futures, believing that they are actually destroying the futures of others. That is the reason why this young woman in London, that is a Yoruba woman, I have, if you go through the history, you will understand that so many Yorubas who are supporting evil will always befall them. Just like Nigeria, as they have supported evil, evil will always befall them. The fact that we are actually fighting to be free from the shackle of Nigeria does not mean that we hate anybody. But whoever that is going to rise up to stand in our way, if it is possible, we will push that person aside, that they will even fall and get hurt. It does not matter. But as long as we achieve our freedom, because in the international, human rights, there is no place where our international law and charters that we African people and Nigeria people are signatory to. It does not incriminate, self-determination. Self-determination is a right of every individual. Self-determination is a right of every human being. And I am going to prove that to you, that self-determination is a right that nobody will fight you for believing in self-determination. Even the Western world, which is called the free world, they know very well that self-determination is something that you can never, ever fight, because it is a right of every individual who believe in it. That is the reason why during the time Ukraine war started, so many people made a statement. So many people that matters in the free world made a statement in solidarity with Ukraine, saying that self-determination is not a crime. The same self-determination that we found ourselves into today, that they have, with the help of some people who are very, very compromised in the world, they are actually paying a blind eyes towards our challenges while we are on the quest for self-determination. And that is the reason why we will continue to actually campaign until it gets to their ears. And the most important thing that they should understand is that we might not hold our peace for a very, very long time, because it is only a tree that see that it is going to be cut off, and it still remains there. We are IPOB. We are the indigenous people of Biafra. We want to inform the world that we are tired of this inhuman treatment being meted upon us. We are tired of all these allegations being leveled against us by Nigeria and the agents that they bribe. Just like this woman you see in front of my screen, she lives in London, and we must, challenge the activities of this woman, even in the London court, to ask her, when did you see, what evidence do you have that IPOB is a terrorist organization? What evidence do you have, or what did Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did to you that you are calling on Nigeria to kill him? Because that was her utterances, just because of few dollars or few pounds Tinubu gave to her. That is the reason why she started ranting on social media, because these people, they are actually trying to promote the activities of the APC, and they have to go dirty in order to promote it. They believe that anybody who will start saying that Biafra is a criminal, Oduduwa, agitators are criminals, that they will get their vote. But of course, little did they know that what they are doing, they are actually shooting themselves on the leg, because the youth of that Nigeria, they are wise now. It is not that time when they will be following people blindly without understanding where they are being taken to. If you understand the movement of the people, you will understand that people are waking up. Regardless of how long it takes, you should understand that what goes around comes around. So this woman in front of our screen, she said that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is a terrorist. That if they could kill Shekau, who is the leader of Boko Haram, that they should kill Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. So I want our people, because I know you people know this woman, give her a fair warning. To desist from interfering with our self-determination. She should desist from actually meddling with the affairs of Biafra. She can actually meddle in the affairs of her Yoruba people if they allow her to do so, because she is one of them that is supposed to be protecting the interest of the people, of the common man, who is feeling the spikes of Nigeria tyranny, and those who are dying in the hands of the law enforcers and in the hands of this government of the day led by Nigeria Buhari, an imposter. Now, let me remind this lady here that self-determination is not a crime in any nation of the world. Let me remind her quickly, because she will get IPOB treatment. Now, pay attention to this. The reason why I did not actually bring or will not disclose the page which she used to actually do her rubbish, it's not necessary that you go to her page. If you come across that page, you just need to give her IPOB treatment in that page. If you come across the page where you found that woman, give her IPOB treatment, because these are those who run away for the evil and atrocious behaviors of this leader, who come back now where they have run to bribe them to go and sabotage innocent movement, to go and incriminate innocent movement, to go and call a criminal whom the free world never seen as a criminal, to go and call a criminal whom God called an angel. That is exactly what these people do, because they are never ever objective, in their reportage. That is the reason why they are suffering, running away from the structure being given to them, and this structure is killing them, chasing them away. Ask this woman, if Nigeria is good, what are you doing in the Western world? If Nigeria has been treating you and your people good, what are you doing in London? Does it mean that you have a critical skills that they only need in London that took you to London? Of course, you do not have. So what are you doing in London? Are you in London for a vacation because you have been in Nigeria and you want to change a vicinity for some weeks? Are you in London have you settled in London because your own area in Nigeria is not conducive and it is not actually beneficial to you? What are you doing in the Western world when you claim that Nigeria was good for you and it's been good, that what we are doing is actually a criminal act because nobody is intimidating us in Nigeria? It is a very, very simple story, a very, very simple question that you need to ask her and remind her about the faith of her Doyinka grandson. Now, let me actually remind Tinubu. Let me actually remind Atiku. Let me actually remind P2B that self-determination is not a crime. That the fact that Nigeria actually criminalize self-determination, the fact that Nigeria call us a terrorist because we believe in self-determination does not mean that self-determination is a crime. It only means that Nigeria is always complicit in their reportage. They are always complicit in everything that they do. Anything that will not favor the ordinary people on the ground, that is exactly what Nigeria engage in. And you cannot blame many of them, because the structure that is there is the same thing that is destroyed and manipulated their brain and now place them in mental slavery, that they do not know good from bad. And when you see any young woman, any young man from Nigeria misbehaving, miscalculating, you should understand they are product of that Nigeria that is a crime. Listen attentively for you to understand that self-determination is not a crime. Pay attention.
On war crimes, which we'd hoped had been confined to history, the free world has united behind Ukraine in its brave fight for freedom and self-determination.
Did you hear that? For freedom and self-determination. What are we engaging into right now? Freedom and self-determination. So while Ukraine is engaging in what they call self-determination, are they not killing people? They are killing people. Who are they killing? The people they see to be their enemy. Those are the people whom they are killing, right? The people they perceive to be a threat to them, those are the people they are killing. Is IPOB killing anybody? The answer is no. Is Nigeria killing IPOBs and Biafra? The answer is yes. Now we are in a peaceful self-determination. We are not even retaliating to the, brutality of this host nation called Nigeria. We are not retaliating. We are not actually, violent. The inception of the Eastern Security Network was rooted on terrorist attacks, killing and raping our mothers, our people in Biafra land, who goes to their farm to, cultivate. They use their cow, they use their gun, they use their machete, they use their knife dagger to actually kill our people. That was how the initiative of Eastern Security Network was bettered. Now, Eastern Security Network was created to make sure that the things that is happening in the northern region of Nigeria does not escalate to the eastern region of Nigeria. But because these people who are grooming these terrorists, they continue to make sure, they want to make sure that Biafra land is taken over because by the jihadists. That is the reason why they move swiftly to take Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, believing that when they kill him, no one will see them. They attempted to kill him. Their cover was blown, and they now find a way and rendition him through bribing some Kenya officials and rendition him to Nigeria. Now they started believing that their court will actually work in their favor, because they want to eat their cake and they want to still have it cooling off in their fridge. That is exactly the modus operandi of that Nigeria contraption. Now they did their bidding, they run smoothly, and they kidnapped Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, rendition him. The court discharged and acquitted him. And they still refuse to release him because they do not actually want Biafra land to be safe. I want you to pay attention, Eastern governors, because I am actually going straight to the Eastern governors. I am also now addressing this Akuna Abuja, who Bagidela Akuna na Abuja. If she could not make it again, she have to fly to London. What made her to become Ashawo? It is only because she could not put food on her table in Nigeria that is trying to protect because somebody give us some few dollar notes. That is the reason why she is bold enough to come and condemn those who are fighting for the freedom of her and her generation. She also made a claim that Boko Haram was better than IPOB, was better than Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, because Boko Haram was killing only the people in the north. Now, I want to ask you people who are reasonable and actually who have human sympathy, because what we are actually campaigning is freedom of everybody in that Nigeria contraption. Not only freedom of Biafra, we are calling on freedom of every indigenous people, because we have seen what you have gone through. We are seeing what you are going through. We are seeing what is to befall you. That is the reason why we cannot actually wish Nigeria for you, even till the next year. Now, it is very, very important that this woman said that Boko Haram was only killing people in the north. That is the reason why they are better. So the lives of these northern Nigerians does not matter to this Ashawo, because the people from the northern Nigeria, they are not human beings. Because now the people who are actually feeling this, the spikes of these Boko Haram activities in that northern Nigeria are innocent people who are not political class, who does not actually know the activities of this political class. They are the people who are falling victim of this Boko Haram. That this woman opened her mouth to say that Boko Haram is better than Mazen Nnamdi Kanu because they were only killing people in the north. Yet this same woman opened her mouth to say that she is championing one Nigeria. You are championing one Nigeria, but you do not care for people in the north. She is actually promoting Tinubu. You are championing one Nigeria, but you don't care for the people that is in that one Nigeria. Are you now beginning to see the mentality of people who are, a victim of Nigeria, birth? These people are actually the victim of being born in Nigeria. That is the reason why they rather reason from their anus instead of reasoning from their brain that God gave to them. You are promoting one Nigeria and you are championing the cause of the terrorists, Boko Haram, which is being groomed by the present administration. Now, you are championing their cause, saying that they actually better because they were only killing their own people. Who does that? What does that mean to you? Does that make any sense to you? If it does make sense to you, it does not make sense to me. That means that these people are just complicit. These people are just not, objective in their reportage. These people are just paid to go and say this, go and say these things, given a script of how you are going to play it without these people, because they are brainless. They don't have brain. Their upstairs is empty. That is the reason why they will come out there. They will not even be objective in what they are reporting. They will now tell you that Boko Haram is better than Biafra struggle and the Oduduwa struggle, that Boko Haram is killing people in their own town, that Biafra is killing people in everywhere in Nigeria. Now the security threat that was issued at Abuja by the United States Embassy, UK and Canadians, was it contrived by IPOB? Was it contrived by Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, which you people left in a solitary confinement? Who is those syndicates? Who are those, potential perpetrators of these terrorist attacks in Abuja? It is the same Boko Haram. Abuja is the federal capital. I know you do not care about people in the north. Abuja is a federal capital where your people, where every other person can meet up. Boko Haram has been ravaging Abuja. You can't remember that because you are somebody who risen from your earnings. I don't blame you. You as a child was violated. As a woman growing up in Nigeria, you were violated. Maybe you ended up because of poverty and you start actually making your body as your business at some point that it violated your brain. That is the reason why she could not ever reason, but rather she reasoned from her anus. The person I am talking about is this woman you see in your screen. She went and cropped Ohamadike next to Shekau, the Boko Haram leader who died. Now, we are going to leave her case there in case wherever you see this woman, you doing a program, give her water, give her IPOB treatment. It is very, very important because she called us a killer. She called us the reason for insecurities in Nigeria. She said that Boko Haram is better because they are killing only people in the north. She went ahead and said she is a one Nigerianist, that nobody will divide Nigeria. But she has also divided Nigeria by herself by saying Boko Haram should continue killing their people in the north as long as they don't extend it to the west. That is exactly what she is, and that is exactly what she actually dispatched. And her ignorance is actually evaporating. Now, let us hear this thing again from a British woman in the British Council and Parliament. Now, that self-determination is no crime.
Faced with appalling barbarism and war crimes, which we'd hoped had been confined to history, the free world has united behind Ukraine in its brave fight for freedom and self-determination. Those who think they can win through oppression, coercion or invasion are being proved wrong by this new stand on global security. One that not only seeks to deter, but also ensures that aggressors fail. We can't be complacent. The fate of Ukraine hangs in the balance. But let's be clear, if Putin succeeds, there will be untold further misery across Europe and terrible consequences across the globe.
Now, you have heard it. Ukraine is on self-determination and they are fighting against the one they see as the enemy. Now, the Western world is backing them up. IPOB, Biafra is on self-determination, actually doing everything, campaigning to be free from the shackle of Nigeria, who never meant well for anybody. And I am going to actually explain it to you this evening, wherever you are watching. I am going to explain it to you. Now, let us actually go here. I want to, because I'm going to leave this one here. I have proven to you that self-determination is not a crime. Take it anywhere you want to take it across the world, around the world. It is not a crime. It is only in Nigeria that human rights, when you exercise your human rights, you become a criminal. When you challenge people who want to violate your human rights, you become a criminal that need to be killed. It is only in Nigeria. It is only in Nigeria that self-determination is a crime. And that is the reason why we will not stop. We will continue to actually educate as much people as we will, we can, to make sure that their consciousness is actually kick-started, for them to see the reason why disintegration of Nigeria contraption is a tax that must be done. Very, very important. So there is something I must show you. There is something I want you to see. For you to know that Nigeria politicians, they know what they are doing. It is just that they are very, very, very selfish. They will never ever care for you. They will never. The only challenges that you will see Nigeria government coming in and trying to actually mitigate or solve it, it is the challenges that it does not care about class. When you see a challenge that does not care about class, that is when you will see that Nigeria government will be very, very proactive in trying to resolve it. And they remind themselves about it. Listen to this very well. Pay attention.
Voice. Mr. Speaker, people are talking about coronavirus. How many people coronavirus kill in Nigeria? You are talking about coronavirus. We are talking about bandits. In only a single day, they kill the people that pass. All the people die with corona in Nigeria. People, they consider this corona as something. Put your mask, block the state, go at home. They lock, they shut down everything. We're not supposed to shut down. We're supposed to shut down this country for banditry, not corona. Mr. Speaker, the black people are very strong. I don't believe with any corona. No corona will touch me. Mr. Speaker, seriously, what I believe in it.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Let's play it again so that you will hear it well.
And then raise your voice. Mr. Speaker, people are talking about coronavirus. How many people coronavirus kill in Nigeria? You are talking about coronavirus. We are talking about bandits. In only a single day, they kill the people that pass. All the people die with corona in Nigeria. People.
Now he said that you are talking about COVID. This was the time of COVID when it is still something that will affect. It does not care about your class. It does not care about your, your height. It does not care about where you live. All it cares about is to get into your, mucous membrane and mess you up. Now, that is the reason why this government started taking a precautionary measure to actually curb the spread of COVID-19. But the banditry that is killing people every day on a daily basis, who are they killing? They are killing ordinary people on the ground. They are not killing political class. That is the reason why this government of the day could not do anything to curb the insurgency of these terrorists, to stop these, terrorists from spreading. That even when Mazen Nnamdi Kanu created Eastern Security Network to make sure that they stop terrorists from expanding their territory to our region, they call Mazen Nnamdi Kanu a criminal and a terrorist because they do not want anybody that will be actually focused or actually serious in whatever they do, in any services they render in order to protect the territory of any part of Nigeria. That is the reason why they make sure after kidnapping Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, they place some criminals in the media space. They now contacted these criminals, women in America. They contracted Bridget Oyibo and all these people, those who have signatory to some account that is connected to ESN. They contacted them and gave them assignment and say, all you need to do is to make sure you turn this Eastern Security Network to go and make IPOB to be, called a terrorist. They could not do what they were assigned to do. They even started recruiting criminals. They started recruiting criminals all over the place in order to label IPOB terrorists. That is the reason why you will ask yourself, why would a woman from the United States who claimed that she is working, doing, who claimed that, she is better than every other person, she knows more than every other person, recruiting criminals on the ground? And those same criminals are being caught because they are not on the media doing so. They do it behind the scene. That is the reason why you see the difference between IPOB and all these infiltrators and all this faction that the government of Nigeria created to actually counter the activities of IPOB. Whatever we do, we bring it to the media, because we know that everything we do it within the law. We do it within the law. Invention of ESN is on self-defense. That is it. Because the government is not having that, the politicians do not have that will to actually protect the people. The only time they will have will is political will is when such thing like this thing you see complaining on your screen, like they tell you that COVID-19 does not know anybody. It does not know class. Ebola. That's when you will see them having political will to actually work, because they know that it will get to them. What they value most is the life of them and their children. So because this does not know boundary, they have to now work on it. But terrorism that knows boundary, that only kill the people on the ground, them they fly on the air everywhere they go. They go with 100 convoys that they may not be touched. So they go with maximum security, so that they don't care about you. That is the reason why you see them, they can never ever give any effort to tackle any security challenges, except if those security challenges that knows no boundary, like COVID-19. It is now COVID-19. It is security and health issues, health challenges. They have to up their game because it concerns them. It will affect them immediately. That is the reason why Eastern Security Networks was created. The Eastern governors who knows how bandit was killing people each and every day in the Eastern Nigeria, who could not do anything to stop them, to assuage the activities of these terrorists in our region, to help people who go to farm for their, for their livelihood, to actually be safe. They couldn't do it. When Mazen Nnamdi Kanu did it, they were so actually, the reason why they fight Eastern Security Network, it is not because Eastern Security Network was actually doing anything that is against the law. It is only because they do not want you to prove to the world that that thing that they could not do, that you did it, even when you are not on the ground, that they have been on the ground answering all sort of names, answering governor, answering chief security. They could not do it. But because you actually erected a security force that did it, they now feel threatened. They feel challenged. And how do they react to challenges? They react to challenges by actually trying all their possible best to criminalize things that will help you, because it challenges them. It challenges their political willingness. It challenges their competency to be your chief security. That's why I hired Bridget, Rita Eze, Nelly Ofebu, Rabbit Charles, all these people, Simon Ekpa, all of them, they hired them to make sure that they bring all these boys working for Eastern Security Network and begin to destroy them, bribe them with money, when they bribe them, that they should start exposing themselves, they should start, infiltrating themselves, that, to the extent that they actually started turning up against many people who refuse to buy their story. Now, as they are refusing to buy their story, they turn up against them. Coming here, hijacking the fund that is supposed to go for these people, telling you that they are sponsoring Eastern Security Network. Every day they come in the media, all they tell you is Eastern Security Network, Eastern Security Network. Haven't you asked yourself, Eastern Security Network was erected without Uchemofo knowing? How come is this Simon that just come that will just know about Eastern Security Network, and he tell you he is in charge of Eastern Security Network? But if you only know what the activities of Simon, Riteze, Oyibo, Bridget, all of them have done to this security apparatus, you will never ever come to the media and chant for these criminals. They made our boys bleed. But what goes around shall always come around. Now, it is turning back all these people they have recruited, because when these boys started realizing themselves, they now say no. They now started recruiting people who Johnny just come, people who don't know, because they love the activities of Eastern Security Network. Once you say you want to join Eastern Security Network, they say yes, because they have that willing to protect their land, without them knowing that these people are criminal recruiting them. Now they lead them to their death. Now don't forget where we began. The only reason why they're fighting Eastern Security Network, these governors, federal government, is because the Eastern Security Network has that competency that they never, they never produced prior to 1960 to secure the walls of Nigeria. Eastern Security Network was erected, and they had that competency, very, very formidable, and they actually focused, and they were committed to tackle these terrorists, and they did it. These people were threatened. They felt challenged. That's why these governors, they started fighting Eastern Security Network through the one they call infiltrator. The reason why they have to with infiltrator, so that people will start denouncing Biafra. I told you this in several occasions, and I am happy that Mazi Chinasa Nworu mentioned this again, that it is happened, because he got every data that is on the ground. He gets every data that is on the ground, because he's the one in charge of Eastern Security Network. Now, he told you that people are now saying, if it is this type of Biafra that will come, they rather support Peter Obi, because the faction that these politicians, including those who call themselves, who come and act like they are with us in politics, even Obi, even Peter Obi, all they did is to, when you turn these people against these people, against Biafra, then Obi will now be brought up, maybe by Fulani, to tell you, no, these people cannot get it for you. They are miscreants, just like we have called them. You see how they are killing people? You see how there is insecurity everywhere? Because without you knowing the full information, without you knowing the full story is that these people organize and bring people that you will believe they are one of you, and they want now use these people to infiltrate our securities on the ground that are securing our walls from terrorist attacks. They brought these people, turned them, use money. That is the reason why Mazen Nnamdi Kanu give it as an instruction. Do not ever contact any people, any of these our men on ground. Do not contact them, because they know that the only way that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu knows that these are the same people who are actually, poor and actually going through all sorts of financial challenges, crises that Nigeria placed them upon. Many of them are graduates. Now, when they hear a call to defend the walls of their nation, they come out. And they know, these people knows the challenges of our people. Hunger and starvation, abject poverty that they have placed them upon for a very long time. If you call them with money, they will answer you. That is the reason why they now place these people to go out there, use money, go into those camps, bribe some of them, make them turn against one another. Because we must destroy this in order to get Igbo presidency. We must destroy these people, because all these people, just like I have some of them here, all these people, are you surprised that they are all politicians? Nelly Ofebu, politician. Look at her. She's a PDP member. The Delilah. She is a PDP member. Simon Eba, politician. Bridget Okafor, politician. Rita Eze, politicians. All of them, these are organized. This is organized crime, organized syndicate that is actually fighting to destroy and tarnish the image of IPOB, which Chukwuokike Abiama knows that it is not possible. They will never succeed. Not now, not tomorrow, and not ever. They will never ever succeed. So all these people are politicians. And that is the reason why it is easy for these politicians to use them. They messed up the lives of our people, but they will pay dearly. Mark my word, they will all pay. Now, it is very important that we continue to educate our people that it is that same enemy who does not want you to have freedom, to smell freedom, to feel freedom, or to hear freedom, are the same people who actually are killing you constructively. Those are the same people killing you constructively, because insecurity and everything, your suffering put food on the table for all these politicians you see in Biafra land and in Nigeria. You are suffering, you are being humiliated, your abject poverty is what placed food on their table. That is the reason why they want you to start confessing. If it is this type of Biafra, I would rather remain in Nigeria. They now set up Obi to now use it for you, because they know that you look for a shoulder to cry upon. They use Obi as a shoulder that you need to cry upon. That's what is happening. I actually, to be honest with you, I'm not against Obi. I am not against Obi. I am not against Obi. Now, have you asked yourself, why is it that all these autopilot are secretly supporting Obi, except their master? Because their master is somebody who wants a lion's share before he will ever do something. If you don't give him public recognition, lion's share, he will never ever do something to follow you. Just like I said, he demanded 1 billion from APC-led aspirant in Anambra 2021 to boycott Anambra state election for them to take, automatic win. That was what he did. And that is exactly what he is actually trying to attract again by telling you no election, no election. Now, to be honest with you, I am not against Obi. Ask yourself, why is all the autopilot supporters promoting Obi? Most of them are using fake accounts promoting Obi. This autopilot is enemy of Biafra. That so many Biafra got carried away and say, no, they are the ones doing it. They are the ones doing it. What have you done for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu release? And they're asking you for them to get information, because the same autopilot they are championing, they does not give them information. This autopilot you see today, all of them, let me show you the type of people who will use Igbo name, but they are Yoruba. This same woman, all of them, they are the same. Who are those who will be commenting in the autopilot, telling you that you should leave Simon Ekpa alone, you should do this? Now, a reality. Let's just stop being emotional. Be realistic. Be realistic. I want you to actually be objective in this my argument or my claim, as you, whichever way you may see it. But now, number one, autopilot is being, those promoting autopilot are secretly promoting P2B. Secretly promoting P2B. Of course, I told you, and I even told you about the King Nwa Solomon. Before he actually presented himself. I believe it was after I showed his picture that he actually presented himself for what he really is. He's now telling you that he is now obedient. And because now it is implicating his group now saw, like Simon Ekpa started fighting him. But this is what these people have been doing. The one you call Kitakalen or whatever news is supporting P2B to the extent he changed all the groups named with Mazen Nnamdi Kanu into obedient group, which I have showed you here in many occasions. Now you begin to do plus and minus. Remember, we are being objective. We are not being emotional right now. Now you ask yourself, why is it autopilot came into the picture? The first place they want to destroy is DOS. The DOS who will now support Eastern Security Network, now they want to destroy them, wanted to change the name of Eastern Security Network to, actually I have that video. To change the name of Eastern Security Network, they could not. Now, it was only when, they could not change the Eastern Security Network. Somebody started making, having addendum to their name, telling you that they are ESN, they are this, they are that. That was how it all began. Because they could not change Eastern Security Network name, which when Nelly was promoting, was actually proposing. So I want us to refresh, flashback and refresh our memories with regards to this. Refresh your memory.
Alarm on live television that new groups may emerge in the region to counter the secessionist agitations of the indigenous people of Biafra. The governor went on to describe the two separatist groups in the region, which are IPOB and MASOB, the movement for the actualization of the sovereign state of Biafra. The governor said MASOB had never issued threats in the region. IPOB, on the other hand, has been issuing threats and says he fears that if IPOB does not call its people to order to stop the threats and killings, other groups will rise up to counter it.
I call Chinasa.
Other group will rise up to counter it. Well, who are those groups? Autopilot to counter IPOB. That's why when they began, they were very, very emotional. When they began, they were very, very emotional. That when we fire them, they went and aligned with Asare Dokubo. That your master actually, He does not know when he made this statement that I am going to show you here. He never knew when he made it. I am coming back to this other group, how they emerged. Now pay attention.
But the only thing I'm telling you, I'm not come here to attack you. I have not come here to blackmail you, because I will not blackmail anybody that have done nothing to me. I will not blackmail you. Your anger, I understand it, because it is happening to me. So the same way I am feeling is the same way you are feeling. So I have not come here to attack Asari Dokubo. Tell Asari Dokubo the first time in the history of this struggle that I have come and addressed his concern, and I did not attack him. And let him not attack autopilot. Tell him that autopilot are not the one that are attacking him. Tell him that any day he want to address these people, he should address them properly. Address them like illiterate, IPOP, DOS criminals.
Now, that's when we started actually exposing their activities. He became emotional. He made so many mistakes. He made so many mistakes that so many of you have actually, he tells you that it takes 1 week for all these his mistakes to disappear on the media. Now, at the end of the day, after making all that mistake, he told you that it is IPOB. It is IPOB, not him. IPOB, because he is not one of us. That's why he told Asare Dokubo, it is IPOB, illiterate, the DOS. And they are IRAT, according to him, that is attacking Asare Dokubo. Why is that so? He was emotional from the beginning, before he started gaining ground, before they started giving him people to support him. Just like the woman I was talking about. These are the people who will be in the comment section supporting this guy without you knowing it. Now, he now started gaining ground. Now started gaining confidence. Gaining confidence because he is now, and we're going to they are singing and playing Surugede for him. But little did he know, Surugede will go on. Now, let us now go back to that parallel group that will counter IPOB, which is now how they started it. Listen.
We were on the phone for hours. It was early morning my time here. So I called him. We spoke at length for hours. And this is my conversation.
You called who? Listen.
And this is my conversation. Basically, the bottom line, I told. So I called him. We spoke at length for hours.
To counter it.
So I called Chinasa. We were on the phone for hours. It was early morning my time here.
She called Chinasa.
We spoke at length for hours.
That is Nelly.
And this is my conversation. Basically, the bottom line, I told Chinasa Moru that I see the people of Biafra rejecting DOS.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he asked me, what does that mean? I say, I cannot tell you exactly what it means, but I know I see the people of Biafra rejecting DOS. When the people of Biafra reject DOS, it means the spirit of Biafra has rejected DOS. And he asked me, how possible? How do I know? I said, I don't know, but this is what I am seeing. This is something that is going to happen. And I want us to find a solution to figure out what we need to do. I was on the phone with Chinasa for hours. I told Chinasa, this is exactly how it's going to happen. And then when it happens, our people will be kind of hopeless. They wouldn't know where to turn to. We need some kind of structure. And then Chinasa,
they need some kind of structure that will now dissolve the existing structure that was built by Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. That was what they were trying to counter. They know that if they dissolve the structure built by Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, the one they are going to bring to replace it will be the one they created. They will control. That's when they started actually trying to penetrate. Are you paying attention? That's when they started trying to penetrate. Now listen more.
Ask me, so what do you suggest? What do we do? I said, since you are in charge of the ESN, and
since you are in charge of the ESN, who? China Sanworu. The same ESN that, you remember, when Nelly and Simon were still together, they claim they are in charge of ESN. But he told you that since he is in charge of ESN, since he is in charge of ESN, that same ESN now, that Simon claimed he is the one in charge of. Listen attentively.
We know that Chukwuokike has rejected DOS, because I told him, I see the people of Biafra rejecting DOS. It doesn't matter how much he denies, it's going to happen. It's already happening. I told Chinas that what we can do is to try to figure out, maybe we can try, instead of saying DOS, we can change from DOS command to ESN command. And he asked me, I said, since you're able to speak to the people, and then as long as ESN is concerned from this side in the diaspora in DOS, you are the one in charge. So maybe from there, we can start there to address the people. But definitely, that DOS has been rejected because there's a demonic hold on DOS. I said there are people who has done real terrible things in DOS, and that's why Elohim have rejected DOS. And then we have to do something real quickly, because we don't want our people to be like people wandering in the wilderness without direction. I said our people have so much faith in DOS because our leader, Mazin Nandekanu, told us that DOS is the administrative structure. That's the head that we see. I said what I see that is going to happen is going to be very terrible. At a point, people will no longer listen to the EOS. They wouldn't want to hear EOS anymore. I said we can do something. You can announce that we are no longer in DOS command and control to ESN. So probably changing the name.
Did you see where the target was? The target was to the ESN. She made it clear that the target was ESN. You are no longer in DOS command and control to the ESN. Now, the structure must become now ESN, created by Nelly. That is the reason why, ever since they started this, Simon Ekpa never ceased to call Eastern Security Network every day, Eastern Security Network, shamelessly, to my greatest surprise. To my greatest surprise, that Simon even came back to tell you that the new boys that just graduated from school was part of autopilot, or is part of autopilot. You know that what he did there is sending a message to his so-called controller. We are going to get these ones also. And sending a message to say anything connected to IPOB is engaging in criminality, just like Simon Ekpa and his group are engaging. That was actually, the plan. Now, listen for you to hear. She said that they were in phone for hours. Now, listen to how they want to introduce Simon Ekpa for you to see it was not Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's wish or making that he say send Simon Ekpa to go to Radio Biafra. It was the same people, while they are pressurizing the DOS to bring Simon in, so that Simon will go into the structure and destroy IPOB. Now, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said, not in a trillion years. They could not succeed. They were also pressurizing Mazen Nnamdi Kanu through his lawyers, because his lawyers didn't know what was going on. They were sending messages because these people were the ones. This Madam Riteze, or Riteze, not Madam. I don't know what type of Madam that one is. You know, this Riteze, Delilah Riteze, politician Riteze, is the one who used $100,000 in the name of joining IPOB, audio money, so that she will come in fully. That's when Mazen Nnamdi Kanu believed that women Abarayot is beginning to repeat itself. Abarayot, about women riot. That women are going to fund this movement. She started now actually, listening to these women, hoping that these are Biafran women with dignity, hoping that these are Biafran women with, morality, hoping that these were Biafran women that, ndenne mama isokwa, those ndenne maifa, that when they support you, women are very strong. Women are brave more than men. You wouldn't understand until you find yourself in a situation that if you talk, you die. You will find women talking. That's when you will know how brave they are. So now you will understand that he now look at this. He recognize women, because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is a man of equity. He is a man that believes in equity, justice, and fairness. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is a man that wants to work with everybody who is willing to work with him. When he is talking on the radio, it is a spirit that is talking, not him. That's why you look at him, you think he's so aggressive. He is not aggressive. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is a very, very humble man. A very, very humble man. He is not aggressive. But when you hear his voice, it is the spirit of the Biafra struggle that is speaking through him. It was not him. Now, most of the time, when he finished say all these things, he will actually go back. Did I just say these things? Did I say those things? Within himself, he knows that he asks himself those questions. Did I say these things? It was the spirit that is guiding the utterances, not him. So when you meet him, you will know that he's a different person altogether from what you hear when you hear his voice. People who knows him can testify. He's a different person, but he is a no-nonsense man as well. So that is the reason why he was willing to work with anybody who make themselves available. Little did he know that these women, you are using a barayot to actually see in them. See, them, a barayot, that they have come to kill, to destroy. Now, that is the reason why these women know and manage some of the, I believe they know the account that is connected to Eastern Security money. That's how they know. They are the ones actually paying that money through those, they are the ones who is in charge of sending money. That's how they know some people on the ground. And that is how they contacted those people they know on the ground. Use money, give them, go into these camps. When you get there, share this money to people whom you can be able to convince. We have a special tax for you. You know that the DOS, they have seized your money. And now you will ask yourself that that is the reason why that time they come and say that Nnenayanya sees money. You will begin to now add 2 plus and minus. Darlington told us that Nayanya is the one withholding the DOS money, the ESN money. She was withholding it. Then these people who are contacting the people on the ground were now brainwashing people, telling them that the DOS, Chike, Doziem, China Sanworu, they are the ones withholding your money. That the politicians have bought them over. They are the ones who sold Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. We have a special assignment for you. This is what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu wants. That's how they entered this box. $747,000. They shared it among these people. The money that will be coming out. And that's when they say war starts. Some of them, started derailing, started fighting the other ones that refused to be compromised. That the ones who refused to be compromised started fighting now double front. Fulani terrorists is in our bushes. And these people, their mandate is to protect our bushes. Now there are people who are out there who they used to call their own. These people have now turned against them because now these people use money to come and enter them. Nigeria politicians to come and enter them, manipulated them. That is the reason why you see this Eastern Security Network fighting double front, trying to protect our bushes, trying to clear their names, because the same people using Eastern Security Network uniform to go out there to commit crime, they actually give them recruited other people, give them something regalia like Eastern Security Network regalia. All these things in the name to sabotage Eastern Security Network. Now, to the extent that when so many of them realized that these things that we are doing is not what we are assigned to do, and we took an oath. Remember, all of them took an oath. So those of them who derailed, I believe that they are all in 6 feet under today, because the evil that they might want to do caught up with them. They are under oath to defend our land with dignity. This is not oath that people take when they go to Dufani, they bring Bible. No, this is oath that is connected to nature. That's why anything you do under this oath will hunt you down. And the worst part of these people, the worst part of their own, karma, law of nature, is because these people, they promised, they actually took an oath to defend the land. So while defending the land, you might actually kill terrorists. And those terrorists you are killing, they are human beings, criminals, terrorists. So you cannot go and behave like the same people you swear an oath to stop. When you behave like them, 6 feet like the way you send them awaits you. That is how it works. So that's why their own karma is actually working faster than the ones of all these Uchemofo and all these people, because they are only talking, sabotage. Now, at the end of the day, you will ask yourself, why is it that Nelly Ofebu said that only when she mentioned Simon Ekpa, all hell broke loose to China Sanworu? For you to know that they have been pushing for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to send Simon Ekpa to Radio Biafra. It was not the, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's initiative. It was them. Push. And Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said it, hoping that the people that knows his whereabouts are still having his back, without knowing that these same people that knows your whereabouts, like I told you, they didn't sell Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. They betrayed him. Aftermath. They betrayed him. They did not sell him because he knows what he was going to face. They betrayed him aftermath because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was planning, them they were planning also. Nobody actually sold him, but the people who knows his movement betrayed him, which is Oyibo, Riteze, Nelly Ofebu, and Simon Ekpa, because Simon Ekpa was in communication with Mazen Nnamdi Kanu when he was interviewing this man. Who was that? Lumumba and this other man. Simon Ekpa was aware. Now, these were the same people who were pushing Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, especially Riteze. Let's just put Simon Ekpa, because Simon Ekpa, when it comes to Riteze and all this, Simon Ekpa was an underdog. But because Simon have some media, is in the media, that's why it looks like Simon Ekpa is the one. But he is an underdog when you compare him with Riteze, Yubonelli, and all that. He is an underdog. But power of media is what is keeping him going. Now, and as it is, they betrayed him. They changed all the plans that they started working against the struggle. And they have two agendas. Make IPOB terrorists that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu does not return. Destroy Eastern Security Network, because it is a challenge to these governors and the politicians that they could not stop terrorism. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu stopped it within the course of 4 months. Are you surprised? Conflict of interest. They know that Eastern Security Network did a good job, but they cannot applaud them. But they have to sabotage them in order for them to be in the same WhatsApp group with their criminality, the criminality of these politicians. That is only the case. Now, while doing it, they also wanted Obi to give you shoulder to cry on. That's why they started using everything at their disposal to start killing people, grooming criminals, grooming them, making sure they commit crimes. They even open gates for Fulani kidnappers, disguising themselves as Igbos, military kidnappers in checkpoint, police kidnappers in checkpoint. Everybody now turned into crime, all to say that in Mazen Nnamdi Kanu Vunyelebwe. That was the end game. That was the end game. And that is the reason why they have to remove Mazen Nnamdi Kanu from the media first. They know that if he was here, they can't do it. He could not do it. If Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was here, nobody, Amubegi, na Biafra land. They never born you now. If Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was here, do you think anybody will go and use money to start making our boys to change their modus operandi? No. And in your own information, it is very few of these boys, like 2, 3 of them, 4. And all of them now will go as eliminated. Why? Because they have gone contrary to their oath. The same evil they groom caught up with them. Now, they had no choice. They started recruiting Johnny Just Come, JJC. Those JJC now are as a result of this. I hope you heard where Nelly say, when she mentioned Simon Ekpa, all hell broke loose. For you to see that Simon Ekpa was underdog, they are presenting for him to actually grab that position for them. But because of power of media, Simon Ekpa override all of them. And now that's their agenda. He took it for himself, for his own selfish benefit. Not for their own selfish benefits, for his own. First thing he did, he bought himself a nice car in Finland. A car with the money, first money. Are you surprised? No, you don't know these things. Now, let me show you something. While I am bringing it, listen to me.
Can help. If there's anything that DOS has done, then we can pray for God to forgive us. But we
now, I want you to listen attentively to these guys. Listen attentively to these guys, what they are saying. The most important thing is if you listen attentively, you have seen them. I am not going to continue to actually play their video, but you have seen them. I want you to listen to what is going on here. The reason being that I don't know the people that we are using their platform. Maybe when they see somebody, maybe lying down like this, they will think it is somebody dead. So I don't know. Let me try to cover some part. Now listen to it with this Iruenwe. Now.
On the Zuri na no Kijabefa.
Okay.
The Jaffa non-government. The Jaffa non-government. Nezum the Maduri. On 9 on Gafufa. On 9 on Gafu my phone, my good the mother. My phone, my good the mother has seen.
They hearing it water.
Eastern Network Security. Eastern Network. Original, I'm passing video.
They are using the name of Eastern Network Security, as they may pronounce it. These are the people recruited to use the name of Eastern Security Network to terrorize Biafra land, so that people will scream and say, if it is this type of Biafra, I quit. In several occasions, I have reminded you. But Mazi Sanwo-Olu stirred my consciousness to go back to what I have said, because he confirmed it last night. He told you that people are saying, if it is this type of Biafra, they rather remain Peter Obi. That's how they now started sympathizing with Peter Obi. And that is exactly the plan of this government of the day. This Ohaneze, politicians, governors, because Dave Umahi told you, remember the first video I played, Dave Umahi said that there will be people that will be created to actually come and counter these people, which is IPOB. That is the same thing they created. And after creation of it, only to land at anybody who will come off Igbo presidency, they never know who yet that time they were creating this. They never knew who. The reason why Dave Umahi created it, because he thought it was him. After killing our people in Ebonyi State, which was Fulani's instruction given to him, he thought it was him. So he wants to now give you a shoulder to cry on. When he is done killing, using criminals, Ebubago, this and that, to kill our people, that our people will begin to say, no, we don't want Biafra anymore. And he will bring his shoulder for all of them to cry upon. And under presidency 2023, they disappointed him. That is the reason why Dave Umahi, you don't ever hear from him, ever since. And the faction he created, they disappointed him as well, because we were proactive in exposing every step of the way their activities. Now, listen.
Eastern Network Security. Eastern Network Security anọrọ n'ife ori.
He said that Eastern Security Network are not into criminality. These people are the ones who call themselves unknown gunmen, use the name of Eastern Security Network to go and rob people. Now, that is what you are hearing. Continue to listen.
Biafra Eastern Network eri. Ihe abụ ịgbalị ha ọgwụ ha. Ha sị na ha nwụsịrị ọgwụ. Yes. N'anya ụnụ ga-afịa. N'anya ụnụ ga-afịa.
Ha jere ọbọ igwe ndị ọkịja.
N'anya ụnụ ga-afịa.
Ego dị na-abụ igwe na ndị buzi mechi na ọha.
N'anya ụnụ ga-afịa.
Ego ndị mmadụ ha nachazi. Na-eko okpozo na gold ndị mmadụ na-eko ọdụsị ebe. Ekwe gold ndị mmadụ na-eko ọdụsị. Gwanụ m ego ọ na-arụ.
Ife abụsị ọgwụ ha.
Gwanụ m ego ibe ha na-arụ.
Ife afọ ha na-asịrị ndị mmadụ.
Ebe ha na-asị ndị mmadụ na-efe ndị mmadụ ebe ide ọkịja na-agba yara a na-agbagbuchi ụmụ mmadụ na ọkịja. Na onye isi ha ebe a. Onye isi ọga. Ọkwa gị bụ iwu onye isi.
Listen.
Ọkwa gị ọ bụ onye isi. Ọkwa gị nwasị ibe a ga-emesi mee nọ nke nwa bụ onye isi.
He said that this is their leader.
Ndị bụ ọga gị abịa kpọgodo ndị mbụ ọga gị kpọsara aba. Enwe onye na-akpọ gị na fon ebe a jiri ọnụ gị kpaa fon ya. Onye bụ Agụ Biafra.
Agụ Biafra.
Ka ekwe onye ọzọ kpọrọ afọ. Ka onye ọzọkwa.
Agụ Biafra. Agụ Biafra. You people will now know whether he is referring to Mweji Bo Monkey, which is answering Mweji Boagu. Whether he is referring to the one called Mweji Boagu, which is Simon Epa. That is what he is saying here. Agụ Biafra. Now, you now beginning to understand what we are talking about. Are you now getting the point of what we are talking about? Because this time around, all these innocent people they are recruiting because they have tried with Eastern Security Network. It failed them woefully. They start recruiting because they know that when you go into this type of criminality, and these people who are taking them into these criminalities, they are the governors sitting governors. I don't know if my voice is coming out clear or is it cracking? Is it cracking? Because I can see there is a constraint on my side, on my studio. So I don't know if my voice is coming out clear. If it is coming out clear and you are watching on YouTube, confirm for me, please, so that we will continue. So these people, all they do, you remember when you test this highway criminality, it gives you money. No matter how they lie to you before you join, you might not want to quit until you die. So these people, they are deceiving. Come, we are going to work for Eastern Security Network. Then they will recruit you. They will now give you a gun. They will now send you to go and kidnap. Because you know there is money involved. You go and kidnap. But how stupid are you? They told you you are going to work for Eastern Security Network, but they're sending you to go and kidnap. Because some of them will lie to them, you are kidnapping a Sabo. That is the worst part of it. You are going out there to kidnap a Sabo. That's exactly what they do with these people. Go out there, kidnap that person, is a Sabo. And they will go, after they give them their own share of the money, they say, only for this thing I do. Now I am in until I can't balofa. When I get caught, That's when they will start crying. I didn't know. They told me to come and work for Eastern Security Network. I didn't know. Chukwu kpọọ gị ọkụ. God punish you without your I didn't know. Chukwu kpọọ gị ọkụ. That is the reason why the DOS made a line available. I will look for those numbers. Somebody who have it should please forward it on my WhatsApp number so that I will actually paste it on my wall, that people that will call it. Anybody who will contact you on the ground saying that you are joining Eastern Security Network, you call those lines, or you call me even to actually find out. That is my WhatsApp number on the screen, so that you will actually find out if you are going the right direction or not. Because when you get yourself into that mess, you have yourself to be blamed. We have zero tolerance to criminality. We have absolutely zero tolerance to criminality in this regard, in what we are doing. That is the reason why the government will try whatever they want, but they can never stop. They can never stop anything that we are doing. That is it. So, you say our voice is clear. Let us now go to this, our elder statesman, or I will say our father, our mutual father. Let us now go to him. It is true that, let me see if I have his full picture, which is Chief Mbazurika AMAECHI. Let's just pay a tribute to him. We pay a tribute to him because he did what he can. At his last stages, he did what he had, he could. Let me bring his photo, but I think I forgot to upload that, his photo where he's standing alone. But all the same, just one moment. One moment. Let me get his photo. Yeah, got it. Now let me bring it to your screen. The only man, the elder statesman, whom never ever asked for any favor from Nigeria publicly. He took it upon himself because he knows that the Biafra struggle, what we are up for, is a just cause. As an old man who is near to his grave, he knew that the only thing he could do is to support however way he could at his old age. And he went out there, he asked for the Nigeria president. Let me quote him verbatim. He said that he asked Nigeria president to please release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu for him. That was his last request. As a man who knows he is close to his grave, so he has to do something or say something that will actually continue to promote the truth and the just cause. Release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to me. It is my request as an elder statesman. Buhari said he will look into it. Disrespectfully, Buhari did not respond to them until Channel TV went to interview Buhari and asked him, the fact that I am calling him Buhari does not mean that he's Buhari. It is something that we use for everybody to understand what we are doing here. He told the channels that if there is any arm that he does not interfere with, it is the judiciary. That the Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's case is in court and he does not interfere with the activities of the court. Therefore, these people, these elder statesmen who made a last wish for him to release his mutual son, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, could get the message that he does not interfere with the judiciary. Okay. And this man could not die all this while. All he was waiting for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to be released so that he will see him and give him his blessings. They deprived him of that, to the extent that he actually waited for this same judiciary. The judiciary released Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, the same man whom he knows that he is older than this man, and he went to ask for him a favor as a representative of Igboho. This man disobeyed this elder statesman's last dying wish, and the court released him. This man was happy, waiting to receive Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, only to find out that the same people he pleaded, who said that court will handle it where they don't want to interfere, interfered and flouted the order of court. The man could not hold it anymore because that was his dying wish. He couldn't hold on. He gave in to ghost without his his wishes being fulfilled. And he stood strong to see justice prevail. When the justice prevailed and work on the favor of the man he stood up for, the same people who will always prove to you that you don't belong here in their one Nigeria, that you are just forcing yourself to be here, flouted the order of court to make sure that the wishes of this dying man was not fulfilled, and he died hungry. He died being hungry and thirsty, that his wishes will be granted. He died hungry. But we can assure him, Chief Mbazurike AMAECHI, the elder statesman, I can assure you that what the future holds for you and your generation to come will be Biafra restoration. When you reincarnate back to this earth, you will find yourself in Biafra land as a free nation. We say, rest in freedom. Chief Mbazurika AMAECHI. So, as it is, Nigeria deprived him, he died. And that is a message. Regardless of what is it that you want, regardless of that thing that you can say that gives you the the sense of belonging in Nigeria, you will find out that you don't belong here. That is the message. You don't belong here. So why don't you get the hell out of here? Now you want to get the hell out of here. They now withhold you not to get the hell out of here, even though they have told you you don't belong here. They beat you. They don't want you to cry. That is exactly as a result of what they did to this Chief Mbazurika AMAECHI. If Biafra is not a just cause, if Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was not on a right footing, this man, it wouldn't be his last dying wish to Nigeria or request from Nigeria. But he knows we are on a right track and we are going to get Biafra for him, regardless of what it takes. We will get Biafra for him. That his next generation will be in Biafra land. That is how it is. Now, having go to where I want to take you to, the activities of your Buhari and the impostor in Aso Rock. There is some article that I came across. I want you to now read this article with me. This article that I came across, let us actually reason together to find out what exactly this means. Now, I am going to present it to you here. Let me try to read it, even though, okay, let me try to read some of the content of this article. They are too small, and I am not wearing my reading glasses. So, but let's try. Buhari rejects brain surgery, hoping a miracle out of fear of staying away for 6 months. Presidency source. Now, this message, this article was written in the year 10th, okay, June 10, 2016. 10th of June, 2016. Now, I will also show you the reason why I actually want to touch on this. Let me read further. Nigeria President Muhammad Buhari has been advised by his London doctors to undergo surgery to remove the cancerous growth. A presidency source confirms to an online newspaper thread. According to the reliable source, Buhari has indeed been diagnosed with cancer, and the cancer is growing but not spreading, according to them. And the doctors have recommended immediate surgery to remove the growth. But Buhari is hesitant to undergo the treatment because he would take 6 months. He will take 6 months. Just hold on. 1 minute. Because he will take 6 months to recuperate, during which time he will be away from the office. Now, let's continue reading. Yes, the president has cancer. The doctors found cancer confined in the tissue mass in his prostate. It's in the cells. It is growing but not spreading. The source disclosed to the trend on condition of anonymity. Because of the sensitivity of the matter, the UK specialist say that considering Baba's Buhari age, there is a high chance that it will start spreading if it is not removed. But Baba is reluctant because it will mean that he will be away from work for 6 months. The source revealed. So the president is waiting and watching and hoping that it does not spread. If it begins to spread, he would have no choice but to operate. The doctor have told him that stress will speed up the growth rate. I want you to pay attention. So Garba and Adesina are working on a strategy to shield the president from citizen criticism and negative news reports, but it is not easy. According to another inside source, the president has directed his media aides to remain mute on the cancer report because it will be a distraction. It will be a distraction. Buhari arrived London on Monday, June 6, 2016, on the 10-day sick leave, where he would undergo medical treatment for a persistent ear infection. President spokesman Mr. Femi Adesina announced on Sunday during the holiday he will see ENT specialist for a persistent ear infection. The president was examined by his personal physician and an ENT specialist in Abuja and was treated. Both Nigeria doctors recommended further evaluation purely as a precaution, Adesina wrote on Facebook. A day before, wrote on Facebook a day before, an All Progressive Congress learning newspaper, Premium Times, and had reported that Buhari was ill and suffering from ear disease. Meniere's disease, or ear disease, Meniere's disease, which was causing him to hear strange sounds in his left ear. Okay. According to medical experts, Meniere's disease has possible treatments, including surgery, but it has not cure. It has no cure and may come and go over a person's lifetime. Buhari diagnosed. A Nigerian newspaper, News Express, had reported on Wednesday that London doctors have diagnosed Buhari with cancer at the hospital where he reportedly went for a medical checkup a few hours after he arrived in the United Kingdom. President Buhari went for checkup hours after he arrived in London. The hospital has discovered the cause of Mr. President's illness to be cancer of the ear and brain. Cancer of the ear and brain. Let us start praying. Let us start praying. That is the word. Look, this highlighted area. Let us start praying. A knowledgeable source told online newspaper, another website, another website dubbed as the APC mouthpiece, Sahara Reporter, has hinted on Monday that Buhari's 10-day vacation may be extended because the president was battling with terrible cough. The presidency, however, has remained mute on this new revelation on the president's health. Adesina will insist that Buhari is not sick, but as fit as a fiddle. This is in 2016. This was in 2016, rather. This was in 2016. Now, there is something I want to show you. Another news I want to show you. Just one moment. Okay, this one, let me look for it. I will read it from my phone. I am going to read it from the phone. This is a new report from October 1st. This is a new report from October 1st. Before I look for the sentiment of Jonathan's wife in 2015. The sentiment of Jonathan's wife, or statement, not sentiment, a statement of Jonathan's wife in 2015. Now, exclusive. Early Nigeria President Buhari to undergo complicated surgery to remove cancerous tumor in UK hospital. Now, I want you to know, this is the latest. The one I read that is right in front of your screen is in 2016. 2016. Let me enlarge it. Let me bring it to the one where you will see it is in 2016 before we'll actually go to this one. I want you to see the date here. 2016. Let me bring it, because it was not only this. It was not only this channel that carried it. Now, this is the news, Secret Reporter. The name of it is Secret Reporter. Latest news. Look at it. Highlighted area on June 10, 2016. That's where you see the news, the date of the news. That is the reason why before we proceed. So now you have seen it. Let us now proceed with the latest news. This one came October 31st. Let me show you. October 31st. Came on October 31st. You can see it, of course. This is the latest one. You can actually read it also so that you will see that it is the same thing I am reading here. This is from Sahara Reporter. Now, exclusive ailing Nigeria President Buhari to undergo complicated surgery to remove cancerous tumor in UK hospital. Meanwhile, sources say that even though the procedure will keep the president away for at least 2 weeks, he refused to hand over to Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. Now, this is the latest news. Now, let's bring it to, let me actually bring you to the reason why I touch on that and I touch on this. The reason is being the same cancer of the brain and prostate, posterior cancer and brain cancer killed Buhari in 2017. Remember, 2016 was when they discovered it and they say, let us pray. Let us pray. You heard it when I read it. After that, 2017, he went for that operation. That's why you see that picture where it was a last-minute operation that he went for. He didn't make it to come back. Now he died. That's when, before he died, before they saw that his condition was critical, they were already planning on how to make Osinbajo not to sit in that position. That's when they now found a Jubril El Sidani to come and replace and become your imposter, which is the one now they are now claiming. Now I want to tell you the game now that is being played. Remember from the beginning, 2016, this cancerous brain cancer, incurable ear infection or ear disease, and the posterior cancer. These cancers and this prostate cancer is something that can damage your kidney. It damages your kidney. Hello? Now, in this regard, this man died out of these things that he is the imposter now is going for. And the reason why the imposter is going for it, and the reason why they concealed it that time and released this information that the president refused to go for that surgery. Do you know why? Because they want to use it as an off-ramp. It is their off-ramp today. Now, eventually, if he really wants to go out there to go for another, to go for surgery, they will tell you the president didn't make it. He had a brain cancer. He had a incurable ear disease. He has a prostate cancer, which this type of, illness, you can't survive it, no matter how much you have. Prostate cancer attacks your kidney. It attacks your kidney, which can even make you to be peeing in your pants. And an old man like that, it attacks them worse. Okay, now he was able to withstand it all these years, refusing the operation. He was still living. Think about it. Now, all of a sudden, he becomes so fresh. He started walking like a young boy. All of a sudden, somebody who has all this sickness. Now, at the end of the day, they are planning now, bringing back the off-ramp, because it is an off-ramp. That's why they told you Buhari refused to go for that surgery because he don't want to stay away from the office for 6 months. Because they told him you will stay away from the office for 6 months. That is how critical this type of thing is. This is what killed Stella Obasanjo. I think it was breast cancer. Stella Obasanjo, of course, you know her. Her surgery killed her. Now, this same man refused to go for that surgery. And the people the doctors or whoever the reporter, the doctors say, let us pray because no solution. Now, they concealed it that he refused to go for that operation, but that operation was what he went through that killed him, that led him, rendered him brain dead for months, brain dead. That's why you saw him in a hospital bed, laying lifelessly. Until they now structure this Sudan man who is now acting as your president, 36-year-old boy. Now, after that, the regime is finishing. They have to get rid of him. And before they will get rid of him, there must be an announcement of presidential death for them to remove that marks. Because that marks, to remove it, it might be that they have permanently stitched it to his face, that Oshibanjo could not see it, or even Aisha Buhari could not see it. Of course, I know she knows because she cried. She went to her husband's funeral. Now, at the end of it all, they will use this news that is already trended 2016 to off-ramp today in 2023. They will tell you president didn't make it. Then there will be a national funeral. At the end of the day, you will not know that you are doing funeral for someone who died 2017. That the idiot or the clone from Sudan, 36-year-old boy, who is making the old man not rest in peace, is now, you are actually celebrating him removing the mask finally from his face to go and start enjoying the 50% of our oil revenue or 50% of oil profit that you sell in Nigeria. Now are you beginning to understand? Jonathan's wife made a statement. Let me see if I can see that statement. I will read it. If I find it, I will read it. Okay, in 2015, reported by Vanguard. In 2015, reported by Vanguard. Look at it. It is reported by Vanguard. This is Vanguard, right? Now, for you to, I scroll up. Now, read the headline. And I want you to look at the date also. Are you seeing the date of the post? 2015, March 6, 2015. That is the date of the post. Now, let us read the post. Now, Buhari's brain is bracing up, rather. In this fourth pursuit for the presidency, Muhammad Buhari is, in his old age, adopting new pattern of political behavior. How the rebranding will help him in another matter. Okay, now we say the mentor is an ailment of the old. The mentor, okay, Jonathan's wife called it, okay, the mentor is an ailment of the old. And it was not surprising when First Lady Patient Jonathan, at a campaign rally in Lokoja last Tuesday, warned Nigeria about the prospect for Nigeria if an old man like Major General Muhammad Buhari of All Progressive Party is elected to president. Most importantly, many people will see it as it is just political game, political talk, political sabotaging one another, but it is a bombshell. It is a bombshell. Remember all the forces from Obama to all of them that placed that man in power. All these forces that placed him in power. So, out of frustration, you have to drop a bombshell that will never be forgotten. They know that it is a man that is near to his grave, that these people want to bring upon you. I know that if it is that real Buhari, economy of Nigeria will not go to this extent that the dollar is 800. Inflation rate 20.77. He doesn't even care. Debt $100 billion. Even though they have tried to bring it, they claim it is 98 point something billion dollars. It is still even more than that. $100 billion debt. They don't care. Are you seeing that if it was the same man you voted for, his conscience is still there, right? But this man is somebody who is a foreigner. He does not know his left from his right. He's like a zombie. If Femi Adesina write a script and give him, Garba Shehu write a script and give him, he go and talk. They are not allowing the Buhari that you voted to rest in peace. That is my problem. They are not allowing that man to rest in peace, your Major General. And that is part of the things that is plaguing you in the zoo as we speak. It will continue to plague you because you nurture evil. You promote evil. And that evil is what is plaguing you in that Nigeria, and will never, ever stop until you do the right thing. And the right thing is to know that the structure called Nigeria is rooted on corruption. The structure called Nigeria is rooted on deadly games that politicians play. They use your blood to actually nurture this structure. They use your blood to actually promote this structure, to make sure that this structure is still up and running in the benefit of the Western world, in the benefit of Britain, to be precise. Now, if you want to now extend it, the America is coming close. They want Nigeria to start producing more oil, giving them some money. When Saudi Arabia rejected them, in all these things, you will now ask yourself, Nigeria accepted them. Even though there has been an oil theft in Nigeria over decades, not the decade, decades, plural. And who are in charge of oil, exploration? Shell, Texaco, what is it? 3 American companies are in charge of oil exploration. The other one is a Dutch company, Shell, that is managed by Britain because the headquarters is in Britain. And the other one is Italians, which, I've forgotten the name of those things, but I know the countries that are actually exploring those oil. Now, whatever they report that it is what they have explored for the day, it is what will be gazetted. Not the one that you are sure of. In all these things, Russia is now using their resources to actually spite those who place them in sanction. Now they are they are desperate. Even though America have oil, the highest oil reserve, I believe, why are they not exploring their oil? Because they know if they start producing more oil, they will not make more profit. They will not make enough profit. So they have to now tell Nigeria, produce more. So that you don't make enough profit. You don't make more profit. Even though themselves, they can produce more. They have oil. Texas. So are you getting the point? Nigeria is a stepping ground for the Western world. The Western controls the Nigeria because the structure there is built by them. And there is no way that they will stop until you actually say, let there be disintegration of the Western agenda and structure that they erected in Nigeria, which is actually destroying the life and the livelihood of your unborn generation, impoverishing them, that they will never ever thrive in that structure. And this structure will continue to make you run away from them. Running to Europe, they're using you for cheap labor. Because after all, you want anything can do, anything can serve. They're exploiting you because you want to be in their country. You have no idea. The skills that you might have, that you know that if it is somebody in their country that is a citizen there that has that skills, they might be getting a whole lot of pay. Public sectors will be using you and paying you small, not even minimum wage for that skills that you possess. Because this is exactly the reason why they make many African countries build a structure that will never enable you to discharge your political will to help the people in that country, but it will enable you to discharge your political selfishness to help yourself in that contraption. Until you begin to reason like a human being, until you realize your problems, you will never look for solution. Because even if your solution is right in front of you, you don't know your problem. So you will not recognize that this is a solution. Until we meet again, stay safe, stay informed. Bye for now.